For decades, hosting a global sporting event meant spending billions in public funds on massive, purpose-built venues. Far too often, once the cameras are gone, these structures are left to decay into abandoned concrete shells. In 2023, the financial strain of this model finally reached a breaking point. Citing unmanageable cost projections, the Australian state of Victoria abruptly withdrew from hosting the 2026 Commonwealth Games. As other global cities looked at the potential debt and refused to step in, a century-old sporting institution was suddenly facing total collapse. Then, Glasgow offered an alternative. Led by Organizing Committee CEO Phil Batty, Scotland pitched a rescue mission operating on a compressed 18-month timeline. The budget for this bid was stark. Glasgow would host 74 nations and territories for just £150 million, a small fraction of the multi-billion-pound estimates that had terrified other potential hosts. To pull this off without any new public funding, Batty had to reject the expansionist logic of previous mega-events and find a way to deliver a world-class experience within the city's existing footprint. Phil Batty didn't rise through the ranks of sports bureaucracy. He spent his early career in youth enterprise and education, known to many classrooms simply as that history man. His educational background centered on a specific idea, that history and culture are most effective when they are tactile and co-created with the community, rather than delivered from the top down. In an urban context, this philosophy relies on a city's muscle memory, the realization that its most valuable assets are its human capital, existing volunteer networks, and deep operational experience. Glasgow has a significant reserve of this memory. From the 2014 Commonwealth Games to the recent Cycling World Championships, the city has spent a decade refining its ability to move athletes and crowds. To the history man, Glasgow wasn't a blank canvas requiring billions in new construction. It was an established machine that just needed to be switched back on. The organizing committee began by addressing the single biggest expense. They completely removed the billion-pound purpose-built athlete village from the plan. Instead, they are housing 3,000 athletes in existing city center hotels, forcing the competition to become a lived experience directly integrated into the local community. This strategy confines the 10-day competition to a hyper-dense urban corridor spanning just 8 miles. Focusing on this tight radius allows them to utilize already operational world-class facilities like the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome, Scotscown Stadium, and Tollcross Swimming Center. Because these venues are permanent, the team cut the requirement for temporary infrastructure, or overlay, by roughly 80% compared to previous games. The shift extends to transit. They've replaced massive fleets of dedicated VIP cars with a sustainable model using the city's existing electric bus network. They maintain scale through density, squeezing 3,000 athletes and 215 events into a highly condensed window. This yields a ratio of 14 athletes per medal session, creating an environment that is high intensity for competitors and high efficiency for the city. Despite these cuts to the operational budget, the model still delivers the largest integrated parasport program in the history of the Commonwealth Games. By engineering out vanity projects and focusing on operational density, the committee has significantly lowered the financial barriers that led to previous host withdrawals. In this new framework, sustainability is redefined. It isn't just about carbon footprints. It's about a model that balances fiscal responsibility with the creation of social capital. Batty calls this festivalization, using microgrants and community networks to ensure the event feels like it belongs to the city, rather than just passing through. The data supports the long-term value of this approach. Following Glasgow's 2014 event, local youth sports club memberships rose by 384%. This pragmatism mirrors Batty's work in Birmingham, where he used global ceremonies to directly address the complex and often uncomfortable history of the British Empire. Now, Glasgow is forcing the sporting world to confront a new reality. The era of the bigger is better mega event is coming to an end. By breaking the cycle of massive host debt, Phil Batty has provided a data-driven model that makes global spectacles feasible for a much wider range of nations and cities in the years to come.